All righty. Okay, guys, happy Monday and welcome to team training. Tonight is my pleasure to introduce Cathy Cocozzella to you from home office, who is going to do a little training for us about minding our business this summer. All right, Miss Cathy, it's all yours. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, wonderful. Well, I was saying earlier, if you guys just got on, that I flew into home office. I live in Colorado and I flew into home office and I woke up really early. So I was getting a little tired after dinner and I thought, if I don't go for a walk, I won't have enough energy. So anyway, so I drove back to home office from the hotel, which is only like a 2-minute drive. And that's if you get stopped at the stoplight. So we have a very, very short commute. But anyway, I'm super excited to be talking to you guys. I know I have been really blessed to be able to come to many retreats and events that you guys have done. And I ran into Debbie in Cancun and I was like, I really miss you guys. I don't get to talk to you anymore. So this is a fun little treat for me to be able to be here with all of you. So thank you so much for having me, Debbie. So what I wanted to do is just kind of give you a little quick intro. That's kind of the boring part, but I do think it helps people to understand that I can relate to you because I've been where you have been. And so I'll just tell you a little bit about that. And then later in the training, we're going to talk a little bit about our why. So you can kind of be thinking about that. And so I thought I would start off by explaining myself and then also sharing a little bit about my why. So when I first started in direct sales, let me make sure this screen is full shot. Here we go. Can you see the screen at the full screen now? If you're shaking your head, I can't see you, so someone needs to unmute it.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. So, so this is when I started in direct sales. This was actually my second year, but my why was really very clear. I wanted to be home with my kids, and I still wanted to have something for me and get out of the house while making a little extra money, and that was really all it was all about. But of course, it turned into way more than that. So I have to tell you about this picture. This picture was taken as we were getting ready to leave for my second incentive trip, which was to London. So you guys notice the 1980s hairstyle there. And I had those fancy pants on. Those are called parachute pants, if you haven't heard of them. Anybody put in the chat if you've heard of parachute pants. So apparently I was very trendy because those weren't just any parachute pants. Those were corduroy parachute pants. So, but anyway, so this is me with my two kiddos. They were 3 months old and 16 months old when I started in the business. And here they are 2 and 3 in this picture, not quite 2. And that was my little girl on my right hip and my son, Nicholas, on my left hip. So this is a more recent picture of all of us. There's that little tiny girl in the pink that's on the other picture. And here's my big, tall son here in the middle, his beautiful bride, Claire, and me and my husband. So that's just a little bit about our family. And on the business side of things, I ran a large direct selling organization for 19 years and traveled on 19 incentive trips, which you guys included going to 11 different countries. So I always tell people, if you want to see the world, you need to be, a part of Pampered Chef, right? To be in the direct sales business is the way to do it. So I ran a top selling and top recruiting organization, which I loved because my purpose is really to inspire, encourage, and equip. Oh, I got a little feedback. There we go. Oh. Somebody must be on their phone and on their computer. Okay. All right. So I think we're set. But anyway, because it really allowed me to fulfill my purpose, which is to inspire and encourage and equip others so that they can reach their dreams and goals. And so I just fell in love with this business model because it's an amazing vehicle to really help others pursue their goals and dreams as well. So in 2005, I started on the corporate side of direct sales. And in 2009, I came to Pampered Chef. And you guys, I knew I had found my forever home at this incredible company because not only can I live out my purpose here, but I love our purpose statement here at Pampered Chef, which is all about enriching lives one meal and one memory at a time. So I have learned a lot over the years about training and leadership. And one thing I just wanted to share was a belief and kind of a strategy that I personally subscribe to. So the first is this. Let me get this slide up here. So can you guys see the slides okay? Type it in the chat or unmute and let me know, since I just lost your beautiful.
Yeah, we can see.
Okay, perfect.
It's good.
All right, good, thanks. And that is, you don't lose if you get knocked down, you lose if you stay down. And so, of course, this is a great quote that many know by Muhammad Ali, and it's so applicable to, you know, just the basic principles of having success, right? Sometimes we just need to get back on our feet. All right. And then when all else fails, no matter how hard or, you know, how unfair things feel, right? Like these last few years, things have felt kind of unfair and just not right, right, in our world. And so those are the times when I just put on my big girl pants and move forward. So that's just a little bit about me, so you kind of know where I came from. And but what I want to do tonight is kind of just tell you this little roadmap of what we're going to do for like the next, you know, 25, 30 minutes here. Well, maybe 25 minutes. We'll try not to keep you over. This is just 30 minutes. So I'm going to try to stick to that. So what we're going to do first is we're going to create a really simple plan for success. And then I just want to cover some of the benefits of a growth mindset over a fixed mindset. And I'm guessing this is probably a review for many of you. And then I'm going to wrap it up with 3 really practical techniques that you can apply to help you with your mindset and your business. And if you've recruited anybody or you are a director and have a team of people, you're going to want to write down these 3 little techniques because they're really simple. And I'm not giving you too much information so that you can, you know, hang on to those little nuggets. So first of all, we're going to talk about planning your success. So we all know that success is never just a straight line to the top, right? Like we want it just to be the straight line to the top, but it is in fact, the path to success is paved with lots of no's, right? You know that in, you know, booking and in recruiting and all the things that we do in life. And it's paved with challenges, it's paved with setbacks. And if you are going to truly scale your business, it's going to be paved in some failures too, right? If you're not failing, it means you're not doing something right, right? It means you're not trying to step outside your comfort zone. All right. I know John Maxwell asks his team all the time, who's had any failures today? Because he wants people to experience failure so that they can reach for high things and, you know, sometimes not make it, but learn from it, right? So success is not this straight path upward, you know, it's just not the way that it goes. So there's always going to be ups and downs. So my goal tonight is to share just these practical tips, just some thought starters to really help you move your business forward. But first, I'm going to need your help with this. So one of the things I wholeheartedly believe in is the power of clarity. So 2 principles here that we're going to talk about is number 1, we tend to get what we focus on. And number 2, when we want to achieve something, we need to begin with the end in mind. All right. Of course, you know, that comes from Stephen Covey. So get what you focus on or we get what we focus on. And when you want to achieve something, we need to begin with the end in mind. So let's begin this training here. Oops, didn't mean to go there yet. Hold on. We're backing up. With like, what is your vision? What is your goal? And you guys can decide if you want to think about, like, if you're really working on a big goal this month, like, what is that? I know we may have a lot of people going for director, because if you're a director by June 1st, you're going to be able to go to national conference as a director and walk the stage and wear your red dress to the party. And, you know, that party is going to be a lot of fun. It's only for directors and above. We will all be there. I will be dancing. I mean, Debbie knows me. Heather Bauer knows me. These people know me. I like to dance. So I'll be dancing right along with you. So maybe it's a goal you're working on this month. Maybe it's a goal you're working on, you know, for the first half of the year or the second half of the year, or you want to just say for this quarter. You get to decide. So right now I want you to pick the time frame. Like, do you want to think about a goal that you're focusing on for this month or maybe for this year? So write that down first so you know where your focus is, right? And I'm wondering if it is a renewed focus for growth. Some of you might be rebuilding your business, right? And you need that renewed focus for growth. And, or is there something specific you're hoping to gain or to learn as you are growing your business, or maybe to sharpen? All right. Are you hoping to fall back in love with your business? All right. Sometimes we hear a lot of no's and it's just like, I can't hear another no, right? I've been there, done that. And maybe it's that you just are trying to build stronger relationships, with your peers or with the people within, your organization, right? Maybe you're trying to expand your funnel so that you can reach out to new people, because new means growth, right? So is it something, some practical tips that can add to your business? Or maybe your goal is to fill your own cup so you can better pour into others. All right. So I want you guys to go ahead and think about what that time frame is and what that goal is. And I just want to challenge you guys to put that in the chat. All right. So if you're feeling brave, you're going to put it out there into the world. Put it in the chat. My goal is to be director by June 1st. My goal is to, promote to executive by December 1st. Whatever your goal is, or whatever it is you're really looking for in your business. So I'm looking at my chat. I don't see it moving yet. Angie wants to stay a director. Okay, so it sounds like Angie wants to build strength, right? Because you never quite just stay there. You want to always be building strength so you can stay there. I love it. Re-promote to advanced director by 11/1. Build a solid calendar, Melissa. I love it. All right. Actively working toward director by June 1. Lindy, way to go. I'll be dancing with you, Lindy. I'll be looking for you. All right. Okay, I love it. Keep them coming, you guys. Keep them coming. So the point is, you guys, to get really, really clear on what you're after, right? You have to know where you're going, right? You have, after all, you guys have taken time to be here tonight, right? And you're not hanging out with your family. You're not getting other things done. You are here. So I want to make sure that we make the most of this time by really having you focus on how to make it successful. What is it that you really want to reach for? So go ahead and you could take out a piece of paper and write it down. I know some of you just put it in the chat, and if you only put it in the chat, you might want to write it down on a piece of paper. And so just think about what that goal is. All right. Hopefully everybody has done that. Eventually I want to see all these people, however many people are on this call, put it in the chat. All right. So what we're going to do now is talk about mindset. And in order for us to accomplish anything, right, we have to really focus on our goals and beyond. And when we're doing that, we have to talk about mindset. So I'm sure you guys have probably heard this quote. This is one of my favorite quotes. It says, change your thoughts and you can change your life. Change your thoughts and you can change your life. I should have put that on a slide. That's a good one. But it is so true, you guys. When you change your thoughts, inside, then things change around you, right? I know this to be true because mindset changes have gotten me through some major challenges in my life. And I have seen firsthand how having the right mindset is essential to overcoming challenges. All right. And if you are a leader, well, you're all leaders. I mean, even if you're not leading a team in Pampered Chef right now, you're leading something, right? Even if you're just leading your household, or you're leading a team at work, or you're leading in, some volunteer endeavors, whatever it might be, you're all leading in some way, right? And to lead your team into success, a leader must first exemplify the right mindset, right? It's so true. All right, so let's talk about mindset. And simply put, I think it's just a simple way to say this is it's a set of thoughts that you believe to be true about yourself. All right, it's a set of thoughts that you believe to be true about yourself. All right, and basically, you guys, there's two distinctive mindsets. There is the fixed mindset and there is the growth mindset. Many of you have heard of Dr. Carol Dweck. She has a book called Mindset. It's like that thick. It is a lot to read, but she is amazing. And so this is just a snapshot of some of Dr. Dweck's teachings on her very well-researched topic pertaining to a growth versus a fixed mindset. So I'm just going to kind of touch briefly on each one. You see here, this is the growth mindset. So this is the where you want to be. This is the fixed mindset. This is where you do not want to be. All right. So a person with a fixed mindset believes things like, I'm either good at something or I'm not. That's a fixed mindset. Some of you probably just got a little pain in your heart going, oh, I've heard myself say that, right? So a person with a fixed mindset gives up when they're frustrated. And actually, a person with a fixed mindset usually hears themselves saying, I'm so frustrated. I'm so frustrated. And just one little tip, a little side note here. If you find yourself saying, I'm frustrated a lot, it usually means you're trying to control something you can't. All right, I'll say that again. A very wise friend of mine told me this years ago. If you find yourself saying, I'm frustrated, like all the time or often, it usually means you're trying to control something you can't and you shouldn't be controlling, right? So the other piece of this is a fixed mindset does not like to be challenged. They just don't want to think outside the box. They don't want to be innovative. They don't want to be challenged. They don't want to be told they're wrong. They don't want to look at a different perspective. All right. Now, the opposite of a fixed mindset, of course, is the growth mindset over here. And a person with a growth mindset believes that they can learn, that they will persevere even in the face of being frustrated, right? And they want to be challenged. A person with a growth mindset believes effort and attitude matter, right? So sometimes it's not always getting it right. It's about what kind of effort are you putting into it and what is your attitude while you're doing that? So there is no doubt that success in life can be attributed to the growth mindset. And here's the best part. A growth mindset can be learned. All right. If you're going, well, I just have a fixed mindset and that's just who I am. Nope. not going to fly with me. You guys that know me, right? A growth mindset can be learned. But as with anything, the first step to change is awareness. So here is my question for you guys to ponder. When it comes to your business, do you have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset? If you want to be honest and bold, you can throw that in the chat and let me know where you're at, if you have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. And I know that we have a lot of incredible consultants and leaders on this call. So I'm sure that you guys are clearly intent to learn and grow and have that growth mindset. So that's important to know and to understand. All right, nobody put it in the chat. Nobody was willing. Oh, there you go. I see it coming along now. All right, so we've got growth mindset. I love it. All right, so for even those of us who believe and fully subscribe to the need of a growth mindset, you still need help from time to time. And so there's no shame in that whatsoever. So I want to give you 3 quick techniques that I have learned to help me with my mindset, especially as it pertains to business. All right, so let's go to the next slide and let's look at what do you love about your business? All right. So I'm just going to put up, well, actually, I just want you guys to put that in the chat. What are some things that you love about your business? All right, sorry, they're telling me I got to go, but we're going to finish up first. So, all right, so you guys put it in the chat what you love about your business. Flexibility. I love the people I get to meet. PC stuff. Oh, these are great. Oh, the little gadgets, of course. Very good. All right, thanks for sharing all of that. So yeah, so these are pretty much the things that I put up here on the list. All right. Oops, went too far. All right. And so I know that I am very glad I'm a part of Pampered Chef. I'm sure you guys are very glad that someone shared this business with you. And, you know, we have a lot of great things to share with others. But the point of this exercise is to remind you of what you love about Pampered Chef. So my question to you is, why do I want to remind you about why you love your business? Why do you think that's important? And I think the thing that you all know is it's easier to grow and share with others when you are reminded how much you love your business, right? Have any of you ever had moments when you weren't loving your business? Anybody have any of those moments when they weren't loving their business? All right, I know we all have. I know we all have. So I want to use, I see it's coming in. Yes, me. We've all had those moments. So I just want to kind of use an analogy. All right. So I have been married for over 30 years. All right. And when I met my husband over 30 years ago, I had all the feels, right? I was in love. And, you know, just it's that young love, you know, all of that you hear us talk about. And so now, 30 years later, do I rely on those same kind of surface feelings I had? We actually met when I was 19, right? So no, I do have to remind myself from time to time about the things that I love about him. But more than that, I don't rely on just the feelings and the emotions. When you are committed to someone or something, you take action to care for it. All right. Am I right or am I right? So here's the principle, you guys. Love is an action. All right, this is a great one to take a screenshot of. Love is action, right? The critical point is this: love is not just something you feel, it is something you do. It is an action, it's not just an emotion, right? Sometimes a feeling, but really it's an action. All right, so let me ask you again, do you love your business? And if you don't, like maybe you're just not loving it this week or this month, right? What actions are you going to take to fall back in love? All right. So since love is an action, we have to learn to move beyond our current feels and take action, even when we aren't feeling it. All right. So let me use just an example here. So being married and loving my spouse is an action I am committed to, no matter how I might feel at any given moment. And when I take action, I am reminded of my commitment. I see the rewards that I am actively cultivating growth, right? And I see my husband do it too. He's actually watching American Idol with me right now, which he's resisted forever. I love American Idol, by the way. And so now he's like, oh no, that guy's going to win, that guy's going to win, and that guy's going to win. So he was close. He got 2 out of the 3 right last night. But so we do this with each other, right? But you guys, your business is no different. And when you, take consistent action, you remain committed, even when you don't feel like it, you will see the rewards as you actively are cultivating growth. All right. By the way, you guys, that is leadership principle number 1 at Pampered Chef, which is take action today. So keep that in mind. So the critical point here, you guys, is this: love is not something you always feel. It is something you do. It is an action, not an emotion. So when you are struggling and you're fighting that fixed mindset, like, when it comes to your business, stop worrying about how you feel and instead reflect on that list of things you love about your business and just go and take action. All right. So technique number 1 is to remind yourself of why you love this business. All right. I said I'm going to give you 3 techniques, and that's number 1. Remind yourself why you love this business, and then continue to renew your love for your business by taking action today. Right. And if you ever feel stuck when it comes to your business, either yourself or your team members, this is the best place to start, by taking action. We talk about your belief determines your action, your actions determine your results. Your results reinforce your belief in the belief triangle, but sometimes your belief isn't there. So you just have to flip that triangle on the side and just start with action. Just go take action. All right. Okay, let's go to technique number 2. So technique number 2 that I want to share tonight starts with a little bit of a trick question, which I want to know who speaks to you the most and is frequently unkind and inaccurate. All right, I'm going to ask it again. Who speaks to you the most and is frequently unkind and inaccurate? Anybody know? Put it in the chat. Who speaks to you the most? Myself, me, ourselves. You guys are so smart. All right. So let's talk about it. Self-talk, you guys. So how many of you have ever felt inadequate, frustrated, or full of doubt? And I could continue the list of negative things, right? When we listen to the negative thoughts that flood our mind, that not only gives us anxiety, but it also keeps us from moving forward. And one of the biggest battles you will face as you try to move your mind from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset is that pesky little voice in your head, right? That annoying voice. It just places doubt in your head and says things like, you really don't think that you can do this or do that, right? Or what happens if you mess it up? So you guys, it places doubt in your abilities, and it makes you feel like you are not able to actually achieve the task at hand, rather than just believing that you can do it. So even when you try and fail, you will also hear that voice in your head saying something like, see, I told you so, right? I told you couldn't do it. You don't have the talent for it. Just give up, right? We have this negative voice in our head. And it's often the voice in our heads that is consistently undermining what we try to do. So it's your job to flip the switch. And the first step when those thoughts creep in is to stop listening and start questioning where that thought came from. So one of my very favorite self-coaching questions that I like to ask myself when a negative thought or a fixed mindset comes into my head is, who told you that? Okay, write it down, take a screenshot. Who told you that? Chances are it was you. All right. So back in the day, like I never thought about going to college because my parents couldn't afford to go to college and they couldn't afford to send me to college. And it wasn't till I had gotten a job at McDonald's that the managers who I happened to be dating at the time said to me, well, where are you going to go to college? And I was like, I can't afford to go to college. And he said, well, did you do well in high school? And I said, yes. And he said, well, you could get an academic scholarship. I'm like, I can't, like, I didn't even think about college because it just was a mindset that our family talked about, that was never going to happen. So I ended up getting some financial aid and, an academic scholarship and was able to go to college. So sometimes we have these things we say to ourselves, and sometimes they come from other people. Like I know a friend of mine, her dad used to always say, you're so clumsy, or maybe people say, you really can't cook very well, or you're accident prone, or, whatever it is, or you went to college and got a degree and now you want to do this, right? Like how many of you have ever heard that? So I have to ask, are your thoughts serving you well? And sometimes the thoughts of others. All right. You guys, you were not born with knowledge in your brain that you could never be successful. You were not born with that, right? Or that you could never be a top leader, or that you could never be an elite seller. But here is the reality. Most of us have either put those thoughts up there, right, in our brain, or accepted what someone else told us, and you took it as truth. So, my friends, my comment to you is, let's not be gullible to our own voice or the voice of others that have spoken into our lives. Capture those thoughts by asking yourself, who told you that, right? Then you have to dismantle those fixed mindset thoughts and consequently replace them with thoughts that support that growth mindset. So flip the switch, right? Or like a lot of people like to say, flip the script. And it's not always easy, but you guys, it is doable. You can do it. All right. So I've been talking a lot. I'm going to give you a quick quiz. I need to make sure you guys are with me still, right? Especially since I can't see your pretty faces. But anyway, the answer is on the PowerPoint. So don't get all nervous. What is the self-coaching question we ask ourselves when our thoughts are not serving us well? What is it? Put it in the chat. Who told you that? Oh my gosh, you're A+ students. All right, I know I'm over a couple minutes, but I know we started a few minutes late. So I'm just gonna finish with this last one here, this last technique. And this is actually one of my favorites, and it's called the power of yet. So a simple way to start changing to a growth mindset is by the use of a little but powerful word called yet. The word is yet. So a friend of mine told me the story about a friend of hers. Her name is Noelle. She's a kindergarten teacher. And she first kind of introduced the concept of this to her. And so she frequently has 5-year-olds, right, in her class teaching kindergarten, and they can't tie their shoes, most of them, right? So when they ask for her help, you know, and they say, teacher, I can't tie my shoe. She always responds with, you can't tie your shoe yet, right? So, and Noelle would tell you firsthand that this little mindset change, like the power of yet, is like transform her students' belief in their skills and in themselves. So in essence, the word yet means a realization that some things are worth waiting for, and those things take work. Just like booking parties. Okay, I'll repeat it. A realization that some things are worth waiting for and those things take work. So let's look at how this can apply to our mindset when it comes to our business. All right, have you ever said no one is booking with me? Well, now you're going to add on yet. All right, all you leaders, hold all your people accountable to this, right? I haven't promoted a new director yet. My sales are not very high yet. My new consultants aren't doing much yet. I'm not an executive director or senior executive or national executive yet. You guys, it's not always easy, but the power of this small word allows for success. It mentally opens up to the realization that something good is still going to happen. So next time that little voice in your head says you can't do something, I want you to actively combat it using the power of yet. All right. So before I wrap up, I want you to go back to those goals that you wrote down within the time frame. Maybe it was for this month, maybe it was for this year, whatever your goal was, right? And I want you just to think about those goals when you're thinking about these 3 techniques. So first we have love as an action, right? So make sure you're taking action today and every day to stay in love with your business. So how will you do that? What is something right now that you're not loving about your business that you will take action on today? All right, because the good news is it's only 6:30 in Arizona, so you guys can still be reaching out to people. I mean, it's only 8:30 in Chicago, so you probably still could if you live out in the central region. But anyway, write it down. All right, what's one thing you can take action on today? Put it in the chat. I'd love to see you guys put this in the chat. All right, what's that one little piece that you're just not loving? Maybe you weren't getting enough bookings or your sales weren't as high. What's one action step you can take? Who's going to be the brave one that's going to put in the first comment in the chat? I'm waiting for it. I feel it's coming. Reach out. I love it. Send follow-up. Follow-up is key. I love it. All right. So secondly, you guys, when you have thoughts that don't serve you well, ask yourself, who told you that? And I want you to think about this, it's like a myth you have to dispel. And I don't know if you've ever looked up the word dispel, but it means make a doubt, a feeling, or a belief disappear. I want that to disappear, you guys, when you have those thoughts that don't serve you well. And lastly, when it comes to your mindset, remember the power of yet. All right, Julie's going to wonder what's going on when you guys are on your next Zoom and somebody says, I haven't got any bookings, and, you know, Debbie or Heather or somebody yells out yet, right? So I want you to think about something common, like something that you say where you're going to use the power of yet. Put it in the chat. What's something common that you say? Like, I'm not getting enough bookings yet. Put it in the chat. What is it for you? All right. So I have this fun little video I want to play for you guys here real quick. Do we have time for the video? I see it. I'm not a director yet.
Yes, we do.
Okay, good. Okay, so let me stop the share. I want to make sure I get it on the right screen here. Let's pop this one up. Oh, shoot, hold on a second. I think I might have added it right in the PowerPoint. Let me see if I can get it to play from the PowerPoint. Can you see it? Can you hear it?
No, not yet.
No.
Oh, sorry. Hold on a sec. Back up the button. Okay. How about now? Can you see it? I can't see your face.
It's blank. But it
Why?
looks like, there you go. Yeah.
Why pay the price? Why work this hard? Why go this far? Why try to learn this much? Why try to do it all? Why try to see it all? Why try to have it all? Why study? Why put yourself out? Why try to take on this much responsibility? Why develop yourself to the full? Why try to become all that you can possibly become? Why try to earn as much as you can earn, share as much as you can share, develop every skill you possibly can, see every human you possibly can, go to every class you possibly can, touch everybody you possibly can? Why do that much? Why go that far? Why share that much? Why give that much away? Why try to see everything? Why try to do everything? Why try to become everything? That's a good question, why? Here's another good answer to why. It's the second question, why not? Why not see how much you can earn? Why not see how much you can learn? Why not see how many skills you can develop? Why not see what kind of person you can become? Why not see what kind of influence you can have? Why not see how many people you can rescue from oblivion? I want you to take that personal. Why not? Why not? Now here's number 3. Why not you? You've got the brains. You can make decisions. You can study the plan. You can change your life. You can grow immensely in the next few years. You can make your dreams come true. You can build a financial wall around your family nothing can get through. You can become healthy. You can become powerful. Why not you? My very last question on the questions to ponder is why not now? There never was a better time. What a time now for us to take this dream and not let it die. Take this dream and give it life. Take this dream and breathe into it your own personal spirit until finally it becomes a flame that burns around the whole world.
All right. So I would love to just have you guys put in that chat what's something that spoke to you. Lindy said it brought her to tears. Do you want to tell us why, Lindy? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just taking that and applying it to life in general, not just business. I'm a mom of 5, and one of my daughters is really struggling right now. And so that just spoke to me, life in general, but to be able to pass that on to her. in my business, I talk down to myself a lot because I haven't seen the success that I wanted. And outside of this, I'm also operating a nonprofit. And so it just spoke to me in many facets of my life. And just very simple, but really, really profound. So I thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Oh my gosh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And you and your daughter will be in my prayers as well. So all right. So anybody else want to share what that video spoke to them or something about the training that you heard, or just throw it in the chat? Why not me? I've always just accepted that I'm not meant to. Ah, Autumn, that's powerful. Thank you for sharing that. Go ahead and throw it in the chat if you have something that you'd like to share. Otherwise, I'm going to turn it over to Debbie, because I know now we're over, so I don't want to keep you guys too long.
Very powerful video, Cathy, and very love very much your presentation and your training, as I always do. I always look forward to hearing from you. Does anybody have a quick question for Cathy before they boot her out?
Yeah, the guy in the red shirt is not very happy with me. That's all good.
It's all good. Okay, Cathy, thank you so much. As always, it's a pleasure being in your company and learning from you. I've been with you a few times and I truly enjoy your training. You speak volumes to my heart, and I hope that obviously Lindy's, and I hope everybody else learned something from our training tonight, because I know I did. So thank you so much.
Well,
We
thank you.
appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me. You guys take care. We'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Cathy.
Have a great rest of the month.
You too.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye. Guys, what do you think? I mean, we can get off of here in a couple minutes. Any other thoughts? I see a whole bunch flying through, but everybody going to take action tonight, tomorrow morning? Emily, you good? Okay. All right. That's it. I will go ahead and post this recording once it finishes up. And thank you all for taking the time out of your day to learn and grow, because that's what training's all about. So bye-bye, guys. Take care.
Thank you.